Morning, everyone. Welcome to Business Mathematics. We are now at our 14th week for finals. So for week 14, our topic is about simple interest. So we will define simple interest. We will also distinguish simple interest and determine the amount of interest, principal, and future value. So once again, this video discussion and PowerPoint presentation uh, I will show you a video discussion by Miss April Belaras. So let's proceed to our video discussion.
To learn on how to define simple interest, distinguish what is simple interest, and determine the amount of interest, the principal, and the future value. Okay, so that is simple interest. Now, now in business, what is important when it comes to business? Diba? Capital. Right. So capital is very important in business. However, not all business owners always have enough capital to sustain their business. Tama? So more often than not, they have to borrow money for use in the business. So parang mostly ngayon, nangungutang na lang just to invest into business. So it is in this lessons that interest plays an important role. So borrowers needs to pay interest on the money that they borrow. So halimbawa, if you borrow 1,000 pesos at an interest rate of 1% per month, ayan, so for 1 month, you will have to pay the amount that is equal to the principal, yun yung borrowed money mo, which is 1,000 pesos, multiplied by the rate, which is 1%. Okay? Multiplied by the term na 1 month. So, 1,000 times 1% times 1 is equal to 10 pesos. So, yun yung dagdag dun sa principal na inutang mo. Okay? So, that is what we mean by simple interest. Now, there are some basic concepts that we're going to encounter during our discussion. So, we have the principal, the interest, time, interest expense, interest income, simple interest. Okay? So, when you say simple interest, ayan. When money is borrowed, interest is charged for the use of that money over a certain period of time. Okay? So, depende yan kung per day ba, per month, per week, or per year. Okay? So, the amount of interest charged depends on the amount of money borrowed. Okay? So, the interest rate and the length of time for which the money is borrowed. So, yun, nakadepende yung interest dun sa amount na inutang mo. Okay? So, halimbawa, 10,000, tapos babayaran mo yun within 6 months for 5%. Ayun. So, ganun. So, we have here principal, which is the amount borrowed. Okay? Yan. And we have the rate or interest rate, which is the cost of using money expressed as percentage of the principal for a given period of time, which is usually per year. Okay? It is generally regarded as the cost of borrowing or lending out money or the cost of credit. And for the time, this is the time or term of period of the loan. Okay? So, ano ba yung time na yon? Okay, wait. So, the amount of money that is charged for the use of borrowed money is interest expense. Okay? There. So, the amount of money charged for the use of the borrowed money is what we call interest expense from the point of view of the borrower. Okay, so the amount of money earned or money lent is interest income. Okay, so interest income from the point of view of the creditor. Okay, so kanina yung interest expense from the point of view of the borrower. So interest income of the creditor naman. And interest computed on the original principal for any time or length of time money is borrowed or lent or invested in term as simple interest. Okay, so it is termed as simple interest. So we have here the basic formula to compute the simple interest. So I is equal to PRT, or wherein I is the interest or the amount paid for the use of money. P is the principal or the amount borrowed, lent, or invested. R, or small letter R, is the rate, or this is the percent of interest being charged. And yung T, which is the time, or this is the number of periods for which the money will be borrowed, lent, or invested. Okay, so IPRT. So, yung IPRT, sinasabi namin when we were in college. Okay, para mas madali. And the total amount or future value, this is the amount of money at a specific date. Okay, it determines the supposed future sum of money that a principal or present is worth at a specific time ahead, assuming a certain simple rate of interest. Okay, so to find the maturity value or future value denoted as F, the total amount due upon maturity, F is equal to P plus I. Okay? And so if we are going to substitute our basic formula for interest, we will have this one. F is equal to P plus I, and then P plus PRT. Okay, so the future value will be P times 1 plus RT. Okay, so that's the formula. Ayan. So as stated, in here, so yung F natin, F represents the maturity. Okay, maturity value of a loan, or the future value of invested capital. As such, to find F is also to accumulate the principal. Okay, so to find F, that is also to accumulate the principal. Okay, yan. So when we deposit money in the bank, we are in effect lending our money to the bank. So ganyan. So the bank usually uses our money to grant loans to borrowers, and the bank pays the depositor interest on money deposited. So parang nakaka-earn ka rin kapag nag-deposit ka ng pera mo, kasi ginagamit din yun ng bangko para sa mga naglo-loan, mga humihiram. So, and similarly, when we go to the bank and borrow money, we are the ones paying interest to the bank for the money that we borrow. So, sino sa inyo yung mahilig mag-loan? So, ayan, dapat alam nyo rin kung paano siya computein, yung mga simple interest that is involved. Ayan, especially yung maturity value ng na-loan mo na. Okay? Ayun. So let's have an example for this. So we're going to apply our formulas to specific examples like this. Number 1. So Isa borrowed 2,000 pesos at 12% interest for 2 years. Find the interest and the maturity value. Okay, so what are we going to find? We're going to find for the interest and the maturity value. So we have to identify first our given. So given na yung principal na hiniram ni Isa, which is 2,000 pesos. Okay? With the 12% interest. Okay, so yan yung rate natin. So gaano katagal yung pagbabayad niya ng 12%? 2 years. Okay, so for 2 years, magbabayad si Iza ng 12% interest dong principal, which is 2,000. So we have to find for the interest and the maturity value. Okay. So solutions is first, we have to find for the interest. So madali lang yung formula natin in finding the interest. I is equal to PRT. Okay. So just substitute the value of the PRT, 2,000 times rate. Okay. So, ayan. 12%. Siyempre, taon yon times yung 2 years. Okay? Ayan. 2 years. So, next is 2,000 times, di ba kapag percent, that is over 100 times 2. So, pwede na tayo magbawas ng dalawang zero dyan para mas madali yung pag-calculate natin. Kaya, the interest would be 480 pesos. Oh, ayan. So, dalawang taon na bago niya mabayaran yung principal na hiniram niya, the interest would be 480 pesos. And then, find for the maturity value. So, ano ulit yung maturity value natin? So, the maturity value is denoted as big letter F, and the formula in finding the maturity value is P plus I. Okay? F equals to P plus I. So, substitute the value. P is our principal, so that is 2,000. Plus interest, which is 480 pesos. Okay, so this is now equal to 2,480 pesos. Okay, so note in here that if we are not asked for the amount of interest, but only for the maturity value, we can make the formula na F, which equal to 1 plus RT. Ayan. Okay? So, if we are not asked for the amount of interest, pag hindi tinanong si interest, ito yung formula na gagamitin natin. Okay? So, try nga natin. Let us try. So, we can make use of this formula. F is equal to the quantity of 1. 1 yan ha. 1 plus RT. Okay? Yan. So, if only for the maturity value. Alright? So, 2,000. Wait lang. Okay, so 2,000 times 1 plus yung 12% interest times 2 years na term. Okay. So, 2,000 times 1 plus, so convert muna natin yung percent into decimal, so 0.12. Okay. Next, so tuloy lang yung calculations. 2,000 times 1. Okay, so this is now equal to 0.24. Next, so 2,000 times 1.24. So this is now equal to 2,480 pesos. Okay, so knowing the maturity value, it would be very easy to get the interest. So, since nakuha na natin yung interest, kasi nga dun sa nauna kanina, we were asked to find for the interest. So, we find the interest first before the maturity value following the formulas. Okay? But, dito, if we are not asked for the amount of interest, only for the maturity value. So, ito yung makukuha natin. So, same lang sila, di ba? So, knowing the maturity value of 2,480 pesos, it would be very easy now for us to get the interest. So, paano ba yun? We simply deduct the principal from the maturity value. Okay? So, that is I equals to F minus P. Okay? So, ayan. Pagkukuha natin yung interest. So, all we have to do is to deduct. Okay? Ibawas lang natin yung principal from the maturity value. Okay? Kaya, yung interest ay 480 pesos. Okay? So, pareho ba yung lumabas na value ng interest at maturity? Yes. Okay. Let's have another example. Ellie lent 3,000 pesos at 14% interest for 6 months. How much will she get at the end of the term? How much interest did she earn? Okay? So, nagpahiram siya ng 3,000. Magbabayad yung humiram ng 14% interest sa loob ng 6 na buwan. Okay, so sa loob ng 6 na buwan. So magkano yung makukuha niya after 6 months? Magkano yung naipon niya? Magkano kaya yung nadagdag dun sa 3,000 niya? Okay? So, let us identify our given. So, we have the principal. Ayan, which is 3,000. The rate, which is 14%. And yung time natin is 6 months. Okay? So, ano yung hahanapin natin? We have to find for the maturity value at saka yung interest. Okay? Next, tinatanong kasi dyan, how much will she get at the end of the term? Okay? So, ano yung, magkano yung idadagdag doon sa 3,000 at magkano yung naipon niya from 14% after 6 months. Diba? So, wait, ano nangyari? So, solution for letter A, unahin muna natin si maturity value. So, we'll use this formula. F is equal to P times and 1 plus RT. Okay? So, substitute lang natin yung mga values. So, given na si principal, which is 3,000. Okay, and then 1 plus the rate, which is 14%. Okay. And then yung time natin, so 6 by 12 kasi there's 6 months within 1 year. So 12 months naman yung isang taon. Kaya yan. So this is now equal to 3,000 times and 1 plus 14% over 2. Okay. Bakit 2? Kasi naging 1 half na yun. And next. So this is now equal to 3,000 times 1 plus 7%. 7% ay 14 divided by 2 naging 7. Okay, so continue. This is equal now to 3,000 times 1.07. Okay, so yung 7%, if you convert this into decimal, that is equal to 0.07. So this is now equal to 3,210 pesos. Okay? Ayan. So that is the maturity value. How about the interest? So interest is equal to the difference between maturity value and principal. Okay? So the maturity value is 3,210. Deduct natin yung principal na 3,000. So the interest is equal to 210 pesos. Okay? Ayun. So take note that we divided 6 months by 12. Okay? So we divided 6 months by 12 just to convert it into years. Okay? Kaya 1/2 year siya. Because the rate is per annum. Okay? So take note na yung rate natin is per annum. Ibig sabihin, kada taon. Ayan. So, halimbawa yung term na nabigay doon sa problem is 6 months. So, convert natin yan into year. Kaya, we divided 6 months by 12. Okay? Ayan. Ayan yung first na solution. And we have another solution. Okay, so may ibang way naman kung paano kukunin. So, we solve first for the interest. Okay, so una, solve muna natin yung interest, si iFruit. Okay, yan. So, 3,000 times 14%. Okay, so 14%. So, pwede namang ilagay din natin yun para matanggal yung wait. 12. Huh? Then, yes, we have to. So, ito yung second solution natin. Una, hanapin yung interest. Okay? So, yung interest rate. So, we'll use this formula. All you have to do is to substitute the values of our formula. So, 3,000 times 14% times 6 months over 12 months. Okay? 12 months or year. Okay? So, para matanggal lang yun, kaya this is 2. Okay? Dito, para mas maayos, lagay natin dito. 3,000 times 14% over 2 yan. Okay? So, this is now equal to, wait, 3,000 yan. 3,000 times 7% or 3,000 times 0.07. Kaya this is now equal to 210 pesos. Okay, so the interest is 210 pesos. And for the maturity value, yung F natin equals to P plus I, yung interest. Principal plus the interest, which is 3,000 plus the interest na 210. Kaya, yung maturity value ng pinahiram ni Ellie na 3,000 ay magiging 3,210 pesos. Okay? Ayun. So, she will get at the end of the term 210 pesos. Okay? So, ayan. So, at the end of the term, 3,210. Oh, yun pala yung 310 pesos. 3,210 pesos. Okay? So, at the end of the term. So, nakaipon siya na ng 210 pesos na interest. Okay? Another one. Para mas maintindihan. Accumulate 1,200 pesos for 2 years at 3% per quarter simple interest. Okay? So we have first our given, which is the principal. Principal na 1,200 pesos. And then yung term, 2 years. Yan. The term is 2 years and the rate of interest is 3% per quarter. Per quarter. Ibig sabihin nun, 4 na beses sa isang taon. So, since 2 years siya, edi 8. Okay, so we are going to find for the maturity value. Okay. So we have our first solution. For our first solution, anong gagawin natin? We have to convert. So, convert muna natin si time, yung term natin, to quarters to agree with the rate that is expressed per quarter. Okay? So, T is equal to 2 years. Alright? So, since we're converting this one to quarters, kasi nga yung rate natin ay 3% per quarter. So, ilang quarters sa isang taon? We have 4 quarters in a year. Okay? So, there are 4 quarters in a year. So, para mag-agree siya doon kay rate, so this is now equal to 8 quarters. Okay? 8 quarters. And we're now going to find for the maturity value. So, we're going to use this formula again. So, substitute lang natin yung mga values. 1,200. 1 plus yung rate natin, which is 3% times yung term na 8 quarters. Okay? 8 quarters na yun. Next, unahin yung mga nasa loob. 1 plus 0.03 times 8. Okay? So this is 1,200 times 1.24. So yung nasa loob is equal to 1.24. So calculate, this is equal to 1,488 pesos. So ito na yung maturity value ng 1,200 pesos na principal mo with 3% interest. Ayan, quarter for 2 years. Okay, so yan yung una nating solution. Next, so we have our second solution. Solution B na lang, ganun. So first is convert the rate. Kanina, ano yung kinonvert natin? We converted the time to quarters to agree with the rate that is expressed per quarter. So, sa second solution, we have to convert our rate. Okay, convert our rate to per annum. Kasi ano yung nabanggit kanina doon? So, per quarter. So, para mag-agree siya doon sa term natin na 2 years. So, convert muna natin si rate to per annum. Okay? To conform with that T that is expressed in years. Ayan. So, since yung rate natin ay 3% interest, ayan. So, para mag-agree din siya doon sa per annum. So, 4 quarters in 1 year. Okay? So, para mawala na yon. So, this is now equal to 12% per year. Okay? So, yung maturity value natin, so 1,200 times 1 plus 12% times yung term na 2 years. Okay? So, this is equal to 1,200 1 plus, so convert natin yung dito sa decimal. Always na-convert yung rate natin into decimal. Right? So, next, dito na lang. So, 1,200 times 1 plus 0.24. Okay? 1,200 times 1.24. So, this is equal to 1,488 pesos. So, this is na the maturity value. Okay? So, pareho ba yung sagot natin kanina? Yung sa unang solution? Yes. Okay. So, ayan. Now we have the present value or the principal. Okay, so present value or principal is the amount. Okay, this is the amount or value of money at any date of valuation. Okay. It is also referred to as the time value of money. Okay. So the present value is the initial value of an investment which is subjected by a specific rate of interest to earn some amount of money. It is always lower than the future value except if the rate of interest is negative. Okay, it can be determined by way of the formulas that is shown here. So P is equal to I over RT times. So yan yung panglima nating formula. Tama? Okay. Wait lang. Okay, so we'll use these formulas. P is equal to I over RT. Have the other formula, P is equal to F over the quantity of 1 plus RT. Okay, sorry. Where P is the present value or the principal, F is the future value, I is the amount of interest. Okay, I is the amount of interest. And we have R, which is the rate. Okay, so example. So let's have an example. A depositor wants to earn an interest of 55,790 pesos in 2 years and 3 months from a bank that gives 5.5 years. Okay, 5.5% interest. So how much should he deposited in a bank today? Okay. Since the given are time, rate, and amount interest, so ang gagamitin nating formula ay yung nauna kanina. Okay? Yan. So we will use the first formula, then substitute the given values in the formula. But before that, ano nga ba yung mga given na values? What are the given? So we have the amount of interest. What is the amount of interest? 55,790 pesos. Okay? And we have the time, which is 2 years and 3 months. Okay? 2 years and 3 months. Or 2 and 1/4 year. 2 and 1/4 years yan. And our rate is 5 and 1/2%. Okay, 5.5%. So we are going to use the first formula, which is, ayan, so P equals to I over R. Okay, so substitute lang natin yung mga values. So 55,790. And then yung rate natin na 0.55. Kasi ito, 5.5 na yan. So, convert natin sa decimal, 0.055. Okay, times 2.25. Okay, ano yung 2.25? Yan, yung term natin na 2 and 1/4 years. So, that is equivalent to 2.25 na year. Okay? And so, yung principal natin, so our principal is equal to 450,828 pesos and 28 centavos. Okay? So, yan yung dapat na i-deposit ng depositor doon sa bangko ngayon. Another example. Angela wants to have 2.48 million pesos 2 years from now. So, paano mo ma-accumulate yung 2.48 million 2 years from now? So, how much money she needs to invest at the rate of 12%? Okay, so magkano yung kailangan niyang i-invest para ma-accumulate niya yung 2.48 million pesos after 2 years. Okay? With the rate of 12%. Ayun. So, paano? How is it? So, we have to identify our given. Ayan. So, the given values are time, okay? Time, future value, and simple interest. Okay? Yung simple interest rate. So, ano yung time natin? Since 2 years, so nabanggit dito na 2 taon. So, 2 years. Para daw ma-accumulate niya yung 2.48. So, anong gagawin niya? So, yung future na value natin is 2.48 million pesos with simple interest rate of 12%. Okay? So, ano yung gagamitin nating formula? We are going to use the formula P equals to F kasi hinahanap natin kung magkano yung dapat niyang i-invest. Yan yung principal. Okay? So, how much money she needs to invest. Ibig sabihin, we are looking for the principal that Angela needs to invest for her to accumulate 2.48 million pesos 2 years from now. Okay? So, alamin natin kung magkano. Okay? So, substitute lang natin yung mga values. So, yung 2.48, since ano naman yan, estimated value yung future value natin. So, pwedeng 2,250,000 pesos. Okay? So, 1 plus yung rate natin na 0.12 times yung term na 2 years. Okay? Tama lang yung rate natin kasi, ay yung term, kasi yung rate natin is per annum. Okay? So, there's no need for us to convert. And so, the principal is equal to 2 million. Okay? So, Angela needs 2 million pesos to invest. Okay? So, kailangan niyang mag-invest ng 2 million para ma-accumulate niya yung 2.48 million pesos 2 years from now with 12% interest. Okay, so yun, ganun kalaki para ma-dagdagan yung investment niya. Okay, and we have the simple rate of interest. Okay, so simple rate of interest is the value that is being charged for the use of money in an investment or in lending. Okay, so sino sa inyo yung mahilig mag-utang ng pa-interest? So, you know, or yung mahilig magpautang with interest. Okay. So, simple interest rate is expressed as annual percentage of the present value or principal. Okay. It is determined as the quotient of the amount of interest divided by the product of time and principal. Right? So, here's the formula. The rate, simple rate of interest is equal to, ayan, so, nabanggit kanina, and the product of, and the interest divided by the product of time and principal. Okay, R is equal to I over PT. Ayan. So, yung R natin, yung rate of interest, I is the amount of interest, P is the principal, T is for the time. Okay? Oh, how is that? Paano natin ka-calculate yung simple rate of interest? Halimbawa, humiram ka or nagpahiram or nag-invest. Okay, so what is the rate of interest given by the bank if a loan of 1,020,000 pesos charged an interest of 80,575 pesos in 8 months? Okay, so ano yung rate of interest niyan? We have the principal. So, given na si principal, which is 1,020,000 pesos. Okay? And then, the interest, so magkano yung amount of interest niya? 80 pesos dito. 80,575 and then yung, wait, term or yung time. Okay. And yung time is 8 months. 8 months or 2/3 year yan. Okay, so kailangan natin i-convert yung time natin kasi yung rate of interest is per annum. Okay, so for our solution, we will use the formula. R is equal to I over PT. So substitute. What is the amount of interest? The amount of interest is 80,575 over principal of 1,020,000 times the term na 2/3. Okay? So, kinonvert na natin yung month into year. Kaya, 2 over 3 year yan. Okay? So, this is now equal to 0.1184926447. Or, this is equal to 11.85%. Okay? So, the rate the rate of interest is 11.85%. Ayan. So, yan yung given by the bank kapag ikaw ay nag-loan ng 1 million. Okay, 1 million. But this is within 8 months. So, yung 8 months, yung amount of interest na nilagdag dun sa loan ay 80,000. Ganun kalaki. Kasi may 11%. Sabihin mo ng 12 yan. Okay. Yan. Oh, okay. So that ends our discussion about simple interest. Okay? So, if you're in business, dapat alam mo kung paano mag-calculate ng simple interest. Or kahit ikaw ay nangungutang or nagpapautang, dapat alam mo kung paano yan i-compute para hindi ka magkamali, hindi ka malugi. Ayan. Okay? Hindi ka magastusan. So, yun. And for
So, once again, thank you so much, Miss April, for the very wonderful discussion, video discussion. So, for week 14, we have activity, required activity. We have the word problem. So, total of 5 items only. So, before ending this lesson, I would like to say thank you and share a Bible verse from the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 23. Said Jesus, everything is possible for one who believes. So thank you so much once again. And I repeat, we are already at our 14th week and our topic is about simple interest.